Yes, you. Close your eyes. Now that you've closed your eyes, start imagining your life. Everything that you know, everything that you heard, yes, some of it is true, but some of it was unnecessary. All of it was fed to you on the very first day that you were born. Your thoughts patterns, everything that you do is built on what you were told the first day you were born. You were told all and bombarded by all the negative stuff and all the oppressing stuff. Now, the duty is on your hands to liberate yourself, to liberate your mind from all those things. Because all that you will have to be told on that first day is that you are a gift. Look at yourself deep down within you and search down within you and look at that gift, because you are a gift. You are a great, independent, fulfilled treasure. You are a great, independent, fulfilled treasure. You are a gift. All that you were about and all that you had to do in this life is to explore and expand and understand the depth of this gift that you are. Forget about what has been said about you. Focus and concentrate on the fact that you are a gift. Unwrap yourself. Unwrap yourself. Yes, you. It is never too late. Unwrap yourself.
Now and again, when we meet people or when we meet each other, we greet each other and we introduce ourselves to each other. But the thing is, the way that we introduce ourselves, what informs what we know about ourselves. Because how we introduce ourselves is based on how we know and we perceive ourselves. But the biggest question is, what informs what we introduce and perceive ourselves as? Is what we perceive ourselves and introduce ourselves as the reality of who we are? Or we introduce and perceive ourselves based on what we're told, based on what we've seen, based on what we've experienced? However, the Bible in the book of Psalms, chapter 127, verse 3, it says, children are a gift from the Lord, and they are a reward from Him. Psalms 127, verse 3. Children are a gift from the Lord, and they are a reward from Him. All I know is that whatever that we've experienced, whatever that we've heard, whatever that we've seen, it might not what we really are. Because all I know is that when God created us, He said we're a gift. We were like this when we came. But however, due to life, we're still a gift, but we're full of mud, we're full of things because of what we've seen and what we've told. As we carry on in life and we hang around with people, we engage with people, we hear people talking, and as people talking, and then we hear people talking about the struggle, talking about oppression, talking about liberation. And when they're talking about the struggle, talking about oppression, they're talking about the things that happened in the past due to racial imbalances, due to apartheid, due to the misconduct of those that were in powers, of which they utilized their powers in the wrong way. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not dispute that. That is real, that is true, that has really happened. That is a real struggle that we're facing. And we hear people talking about the liberation. But however, the real struggle that we're facing, and that we're still facing even today, it is the struggle of the misunderstanding of who we are. It is the struggle of our mental understanding of who we are. It is the struggle of the belief system. Not even when I'm talking about the belief system, I'm not even talking about religious or religion or Christianity or spiritual things, but I'm talking about merely the simple information that we were told as early as we were young about ourselves. The biggest liberation, people are talking about liberation, distractly, in all those things, liberation. But the biggest liberation that me and you are facing, it is liberating our minds, liberating our hearts from what we're told. Because the truth is, I don't think what we built on and what we've been building on all these years in our lives, it is based on the fact that we are nothing but a gift. But however, it could be that the information that we have, we kind of like maybe know that we're a gift, but however, because of the journey and the information that have been infiltrated in our minds, in our system, all that we see and deem ourselves as, we see and deem ourselves as the gift that is looking like this. Ladies and gentlemen, Kabana Musizo Wagamkize, aka Kabavo Viva Velichle, the picture at Kupela. It is a Sunday morning, the 6th of Feb 2022. It is Kabavo YouTube channel that we are tuning into. It is your show, Evolve Talk, where we talk about everything else and we leave nothing unattended. At this time of the show, ilangicela khona ukuthi babize bonke bazobona senzani na ubatshela ukuthi abeze bazoyizwela bangezwa ngabantu but bezwe ngendlebe zabo ukuthi what is Evolve saying, because Evolve selingenile on Kabavuva YouTube channel. Uyazi ke nawe Evolve meselingenile alihambi lodwa kodwa ngihamba nento evutshelwe. So babiza bonke bazobona senzani ozoyizwele, because this show of today is going to heal somebody, is going to help somebody. While you're still doing that, if it is your birthday, happy birthday to you, and may God strengthen you. If Semanzini, you've lost a loved one, our deepest condolences to you. While I'm still there, I just want to send a tribute and a salute to my brother Duduzi, Mia, that have passed on. So to all the Mia family, we're saying, as if of a talk, as Ukabavogo, my heartfelt condolences to you, and in this phase. And if you are going through a hard time, and be strong, and right. As I always say, Gucci, you don't have to do this life alone, and I do have your back. Indeed, I do, as I'm in your space even on this day, on the 6th of Feb, on the month of love. I hope you've already getting spoiled and being treated well, as it is the month of love. Stay with us, and we're going to take a short break, and after that, I'm going to point out my stages out 3 in terms of the phases of our life, and from then I'm going to tell you how do we unwrap ourselves, because all that we're talking about today is unwrapping yourself, because you are a gift. But however, before you become a gift to somebody, you are a gift to yourself. We'll be right back.
You are a great, independent, fulfilled treasure. You are a gift. All that you were about and all that you had to do in this life is to explore and expand and understand the depth of this gift that you are. Forget about what has been said about you. Focus and concentrate on the fact that you are a gift. Unwrap yourself. Unwrap yourself. Yes, you. It is never too late. Unwrap yourself.
Welcome back. Happy Sunday to you. It is the Sunday, the 6th of Feb 2022. I am a boy, Kaba Vovo, aka Vovelihle, the big Jet Kubela. You are tuned into Kaba Vovo YouTube channel. This morning, we're talking about unwrapping yourself. Unwrap yourself. Please do forgive me with my voice. This morning it's a bit deep. I'm having a bit of flu, but otherwise all is well, and the show does go on indeed. So there are 3 stages that I want to take you through as we're talking about this thing of unwrapping yourself, because at the end of the day, like I said in my intro, is that more than anything else that you are told, is that you need to understand is that you are a gift. The very first step of life is the primary existence, your very first day when you were born. This might sound very simple to some people, but however, if you follow, you will understand how important and how deep this is, and how deep we need this, and we need to heal from our past. We are born sizalwa in different situations. Abanye bazalelwa emakhaya, endlini, abanye bazalelwa esibhedlela, abanye bazalelwa emotweni, abanye the product of rape, abanye the product of umjovo, umama uhamba wajova and get a sperm donor, ubaba akaziwa, abanye bazalelwe families, relatives, raping each other and all those things. We were conceived in different situations. We are conceived in some were conceived in a warm and nice family setup where no mama no baba. Some were conceived where there's only umama usasomntwana na usasesikoleni and all those things. But here's the thing that I need you to understand is, in whatever way that you were conceived and in whatever way that you were delivered, you were born, whether esibhedlela or ekhaya or emotweni or emgaqweni ehlathini somewhere, however where you were born, it might be uthuma wakho wakubamba wakubeka esifubeni, and she never said you're a blessing or you're a gift because of the pain ayizwile through conceiving you, of the situation ayizwile. Omunye, she had mixed feelings to say, I've got this precious gift that I'm holding in my hands, but however ngizomfita ngani lo mntwana, and what is going to happen? Do you understand? And how am I going to deal with the pain, and what I'm going to deal with what happened to me looking at this chart? But however, regardless of all those situations and those circumstances and everything that happened to you, there must be one person, whether it's a stranger, whether even in the ward, because in the ward there are people, or nurse, my sister that works in the ward that doesn't have kids, and they take the kids that they treat those kids as their kids. They looked at you and say, wow, what is a precious gift. What is a beautiful, precious gift. What is a beautiful, precious baby boy or baby daughter. So the very first step of life, it is your very first day when we are born, your primary existence. Somebody, it might be your mother, your father, or a stranger, complete stranger, somebody might have looked at you and said, wow, what a gift. Even if somebody never said that, but however, here's the thing. The one that made it possible, remember, they could have tried so many times conceiving, but the one that made it possible for you to be conceived, of which is the God Almighty, he said, this is a gift. That's the first one, the primary existence. Okay, maybe before I take you through the second stage, maybe I should read this for you. The mind. The mind is the element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences, to think and to feel. The faculty of consciousness and thought. A lot of thoughts ran through the mind or runs through the mind. And a brain is an organ of soft nervous tissue contained in the skull of vertebrates, functioning as the coordinating center of the sensation and the intellectual and nervous activity. The second stage, that is the most critical stage, and I think that is the one that we actually, the problem maker, we actually have to liberate our minds and ourselves from before we can liberate ourselves from whatever oppression and struggles that we have faced in the journeys of our life. Because here's the thing, like I said in the beginning, that now this stage is a very critical one, because into otshelwa yona usukhulile manje, usuzaliwe, this is where now you gain consciousness, you gain uvukile uphapheme, your ears can hear, your eyes can see. Now you're starting to see your environment in terms of uzalelwe kuphi, I mean the surroundings of your house, and you're being told simple things like igama lakho, ubani ubaba wakho, ubani uma wakho, ukhona ubaba wakho, akekho, abazali bakho abekho. I mean, you're starting to learn of things like ukuthi uyintandane. You're starting to learn to things like ukuthi awunababa. You're starting to learn things like ukuthi you only have ubaba but umama awunaye. And then you're starting to learn things like ukuthi maybe walahlwa, you understand, uma bakuthola uhlala nabazali abak-adopter. These are the things that you're beginning to learn now about yourself in your conscious state of mind now as uhlakanipha. And the very first thing ofitwa yona or otshelwa yona, it is the circumstances, because the post primary existence is mostly influenced and informed by environment and circumstances. And here's the biggest thing that I need you to understand about this. Ogoti, this stage of your life or of life, it's got nothing, absolutely nothing, zilch, dololo, fuck all, nothing to do with you. But however, all the stage has to do with the people that are surrounding you, being your parents, being the people that are your guidance, being the people that are surrounding you. It has to do with the environment of. So the knowledge and the understanding that you get to learn at this stage, it is primarily based on those common, on those what you call factors, in terms of ukuthi ukhuliswa ubani, ukhule kanjani, ukhuliswa ubani, kwenzakaleni, and all those things. But here's the problem, the challenge that is, because now already at this stage, ingqondo yakhe is active. Please just stay with me. We're gonna wrap this thing in a short while. Just stay with me. Hopefully you're gonna get something here. It might sound simple, but however, this is very important, and it might help somebody, and it might help you. So in this stage, excuse me, in this stage, now you are being told all these things, and now you're starting to form pictures in your head in terms of ukuthi, probably now you're going out to crash, you're going to school, primary school, you meet other kids, you engage with other kids. Ezinye ingane zikutshela ukuthi ngihlala nomama nobaba, ezinye ingane zikutshela ukuthi lihlala ma-suburbs, ma-estate, when uhlalela emkhukhweni one room where ulala phansi and everyone nilala in the same room, a kishi, everything la nigeza ndishini, and all those circumstances. These are the circumstances and the situation of the environment oqala uzazi at a young stage. But however, here's the biggest mistake that happens in this stage. Some of the things that we get fed or we get taught or we get informed not even taught, because it's not really a lesson or an education, that we get informed about us or about our surroundings or about our circumstances, because it's not even about us, it's about the people that are around us. So what people do, the mistake that our guidance or the people that are leading us in our lives at that time is that they bombard us, they fill our minds with this information. And here's the mistake: the important thing, the only thing that we should be told is that you are special, you are a gift, and you have a very important element or an organ in your body that is called a mind. That is called a mind that can think its own things, that can do its own things. And like I said, that a gift, it is a great, independent, fulfilling treasure. That is the thing that we're supposed to be told. Because now, as you grow, the pictures that you draw in your mind, because now the mind is something that is very dangerous. It's like a sponge, the mind, because it has absorbed everything that have been told. So as you grow, you grow with anger, you grow with disappointment, you grow with frustration, you grow with hate, because already you start to learn of words like rape. You start to learn of wingane rape. You start to learn words like, for example, prostitution. Like, for example, umawako. She was doing that for as a profession. To understand waktata, waklahla. To understand what I'm saying, and then you start to learn of things like the imbalances in the families. Because in some families you find ukuthi ubaba wako is the same father kama wako, because ubaba kama wako, umkhulu wako actually walala nengane yakhe kwaphuma wena. You understand? So at a very, very young age, you start to learn all these things. And what does these things do? It damages your mind. According to abantu that are surrounding you and telling you all those things, they feel ukuthi they have to tell you this because uzazi ukuthi ubuya uphuma. But the question is that really necessary at that time? Is that really necessary at that stage? Or the question is, couldn't they tell you something different at the very first time? Couldn't they do this thing right in terms of empowering your mind, in terms of building a foundation and a substance in your mind that is going to be able to resist, and that is going to be able to help you grow and mature and excel in most things? But however, now you get ukhula nalento ekuwe ethi, why am I here? Why I was even made? Why did they save me? Why ngafanga at the time? Because of what? Because of the struggling and the challenge and the oppression. So as ukhula with this oppression, lo nayo, because of the things of your consciousness, or of your very first and primarily consciousness of what you get to learn or to be told about saying about you, of which is not about you, it's about them. But because you are in their lives, they tell you about that, and automatically somehow your subconscious mind tells you ukuthi nawe that's who you are. And as a result, that is why we're gonna go to the third point, of which is the last one, and then I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna unwrap this thing. That is why the sad part, I always say, Ogoti, I am my father's son. I am not my father, but I am my father's son. Because here's the problem with life is, as soon as you get that information, utshela ukuthi ubaba wakho wayisidakwa wakulahla, utshela ukuthi uma wakho ayintontoni kwenzakalani. On your subconscious mind, from as young as you are and ukhula, all that you're doing, you're growing to rectify your father's mistakes. And what about your life? What about you? What about the life that God have designed you to be? What about the great gift that you are? What about the great independent, fulfilling treasure that you are? Now you're growing, uzwe umuntu ekhuleni kwakhe ethini, I don't want to be like my father. I don't want to grow to be like my father. I don't want my son to be like my father. And my father this, my mother this, my parents this. I don't want my situation to be in my environment. So all that you're doing in your life, you're not living life. All that you're doing is you are correcting your peeps' mistakes. And then whilst you're supposed to be engaging with yourself and expanding this gift and getting to know and excel this independent gift and let this mind of your own, that's this unique mind and organ that you have, to go overboard and to do greater heights. But all that you do, you live under bondage, you live under oppression of trying to liberate or what you call to fix other people's mistakes. And therefore your mind and your whole consciousness and your whole system is living under bondage. The current state, the third state, it is the current state, la uzithola khona njengamanje ukhona, of which I must congratulate you for that, to say, regardless of whatever that you were fed, whatever things that were said, whatever things that were shown at a very young age, because abanye bethu were shown izinto esisabisayo and izinto that are so disturbing, and yet abanye bablame othisha esikoleni, bablame abanye abantu ukuthi benze ukuthi. However, charity begins at home, as English will say. You're exposed in so many things, were taught and showed and informed with all these things, but wakula ntwana, you pushed the journey for figure la ukhona njengamanje. But here's the thing, enkinga ukuthi bathi laba bafundile odokotela, inkinga ingqondo can affect our genes, because what happens is when you're constantly thinking about something, and leyo it can affect your genes, and our genes are the ones that have to do with your health system, to understand, in terms of how effective you are, in terms of how healthy you are, besides the fact that we need to exercise and gym and eat healthy and all those things, to understand. However, kunalento le yama genes aguliswa yini, aguliswa our thought patterns, because as you grow ubukhula ubuilda umukhula ukhuli ngokwethamba kuphela or ngokomzimba kuphela, but your mind also grows and nama genes akho ayakhula. But the question is, ama genes akho nengqondo yakho ikhula nani? Kufana nengadi, uthola ukuthi kunotshani but imikhula ikhula nokhula phakathi. Lokho kuyagunda utshani, buyasikwa utshani, buba flat, buba clean, buba kahle. Kodwa however idindi laphana nokhula lusasekhona. This is a very challenging and a critical stage la uthola ukhona, ngoba manje usukhulile with all the information that you've been taught and you've been told ula ukhona manje. And it's confusing because now you are now exposed, other than the fact, because some of the people abakutshela lezinto abakutshela zona at a very young age abasekho empilweni yakho, and now maybe you're left alone, or maybe you're left with very few people from the stage. Now usufundile, usuthisha, usudokotela, usuyasebenza, usevasithi, ukuphi kuphi. You've kind of like pushed on and carried on and big, you understand? But now you find yourself being exposed to motivational talks. You find yourself being exposed to different books that are telling you ukuthi, the way that you've been perceiving yourself, and the way that you've been looking, and the way that you've been feeding your genes, in terms of you've developed all this sickness now, you've developed all this negativity, you're trying, like you're pushing so hard to come out of these things. You find yourself now, this is what I've been told, this is what I'm learning now at a later stage of my life. Which is which? Do I somar carry on where I know as I am, or I try to liberate myself? I'm gonna tell you on the last one, how do you do that? And we're gonna close the show and say happy Sunday to you. Bukela Pika, we've came at the end of the show. Langsha Kona, the solution. My solution for you is quite very simple. It's not magic. It's simple as land of school mangayo. Office is quite simple, but abantu abaningi by ignore. Just understand ukuthi i-damage obhekene nayo inkulu kangakanani. Understand ukuthi i-damage obhekene nayo, it's not something that started yesterday. It's something that started way back uzalwa. Some of us, like bana 50, some bana 65, some bana 45, some bana 35, some bana 20. We had at different stages and ages of our lives, do you understand? So can you imagine having to fix something that was damaged 20 years, 50 years ago, 42 years ago? It's not an easy job. So that's the first thing that I need you to understand. The solution that I'm giving you, that I want to give you, is preserve the gift. Preserve the gift and unwrap the gift. How are you going to preserve the gift? You're going to preserve the gift by unwrapping the gift. The first thing that you do, you take this mad thing and you throw it away. Because you are not mad. You are not what you've been told. You are not what have been fed in your mind and all those things. And what you do is you unwrap the gift. You unwrap the gift that you are. You unwrap the greatness that you are. You unwrap the great gift, the great, independent, fulfilling gift, the treasure that you are. Because you are a treasure. And when you unwrap yourself, you're gonna realize, Uguti, no, I'm different from all these other people. Let me tell you something. Like I said, that most of us bakula rectifying the mistakes that were done by Oyise, No Nina, and their guidance and the people that were around them and things like that. And what you need to do is you need to take that off your mind, because the only thing that connects you to your parents, to your father, to your mother, is only the DNA and maybe the genes and maybe the resemblance, to understand. But that is not all the time. Like for example, my son is slender and taller than me, but he's my son, to understand. But however, what connects us, it is the DNA that proves that he's my son. He's my son, he's not me. Like I said, I am my father's son, I'm not my father. So therefore, the mistakes that my father did, the mistake that your father did, the mistake that your parent did, it's none of your business. Wena, preserve the gift that you are. preserve the gift that you are, the beauty gift. Look at this gift and say, wow, I am this beautiful. You know, some of you have to look at themselves for the very first time because you've been looking at yourself through the cover of the gift and through the mud cover of the gift. But the first thing is you remove the mud, usala ne gift they cover, and you unwrap that. That is not going to be easy, but it's a process. It's going to take you to meditate because you need to undo. Because remember, the damage was being done each and every day. You wake up in the morning, you have thoughts. You go to sleep, you have thoughts. Your last thoughts that you were thinking, you were still thinking this, yes, I've made it in life, I'm an accountant. Yes, I've made it in life, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor. Yes, I've made it in life, I got married. But however, I still have scars. I still have this thing, yoguti, angmazu babam. And I have this child and these kids that I have to raise and be a great father to them. But minangmazu babam. And I'm a mother, I have to be a great mother to these kids, but angmazu babam. Or ubabam was a drunkard, or umamam wanglahla, ngalahla. In whatever situation that it happened, oksalayo, you are a gift. And here's the thing that I love about God. God akanendaba ukuthi izinto zenzeka kanjani. If things, there's a need, God worries about who provided the need. Whether in need ilethwa i-drug dealer, i-provide a drug dealer, i-provide a prostitute, or i-provide yini. There was a specific need for you ukuthi ube khona la emhlabeni. Ukuthi wafika ngesidakwa, wafika nge-prostitute, walahlwa, wafika nge-sperm donor, it doesn't matter. All that matters is there's a purpose. You had to be here. If you were not supposed to be here, trust me, God doesn't make mistakes. So all that you need to do now is to preserve this gift. How are you going to preserve this gift? You're going to preserve this gift through meditation. This is what you need to do now. You need to set time aside each and every morning, each and every night. Do your schedule, do the meditation. You know, those who are mechanic, as I'm wrapping up this thing now, as of Jera, when you're saving in the car, I'm going to try my plugs. You might find there's only maybe 1 or 2 plugs. I'm not a mechanic, but I stand under correction, but that's what I've seen and what I've been told. Maybe look this my plugs, they have to take all these other plugs, clean it, and then put the fixed, replace the one that is broken. They don't just take this one by fag and then go back basically. They have to take all them out, and then even though A1. So now this is what you need to do. You need to take all this thing out, and obviously I said the mind is like a sponge. The meditation that you're going to be doing in the morning, the meditation that you're going to be doing on your last hour before you go to bed, is going to be like a sponge. Uyasithatha sigcwele insipho, uyasirinsa emanzini, ukhipha this thing, and then uyasomisa siba isponge right. So bafethu, that's all that I came to ask to tell you today, or to talk about, to say unwrap yourself. The special son, you're a gift. Don't allow anybody to tell you anything. And then here's the thing, I know that I'm getting longer now. Here's the thing that is going to help you. Most of us are broken in so many ways. Like even Namanje, it's a month of love. Do you understand? And abantu, they're expecting people. The problem is, if you don't get these things right, because already we are damaged and you're not preserving the gift, you don't look at yourself as this beautiful, precious gift. Umele omunye umuntu from on the other side to come and tell you how precious and how wonderful and how great you are. And labo bantu, they're gonna come and tell you, but they're gonna come with terms and conditions of how to tell you, because bafuna ukuthiza wena and use you and abuse you emotionally, physically, mentally, in every way.
Now you're gonna keep on falling for that and going for that because you've got a void, you've got this thing. Emoshwe yini, emoshwe, it's all this vutu that you were told from the beginning of your life, other than being told ukuthi wena you are a gift, you are a special gift. I know this thing, it's like one is asking, how do I go back and fix Intoka 45 years? You can. It begins with having a will, and it begins with what matters. Omunye uzothi, what if ngisalelo 5 days ukuthi ngihambe emhlabeni or 5 years or whatever? Okusalayo lo 5 years yakho will be the great beautiful 5 years, because you would have expanded and experienced this gift oyiyo. You would have this great independent, because njengamanje you are not independent. Njengamanje yes uhlala kwakho udrive imoto yakho nani nani, kodwa you're not independent because you're under the oppression of the thoughts of your perception, how they perceive you as, how you were taught how to perceive yourself. And as a result, you are broken as you are. That's why uba abusive and be violent to other people. That's why you can't live around other people. You can't live peacefully, because the problem is udala le. Because now some, they see what was done by their forefathers, their fathers, and people that have raised them as isn't as right, that is wrong. But faith, it begins now. It begins with you. Meditate and do what has been done to you. Unwrap yourself. Realize the gift and preserve the gift. Ilan fika khona ngivala khona le show and say, Ganglani son, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry if I went overboard in time, but I have to explain this thing because I really feel in my spirit that someone needs to heal. I know Bafetu, what I've been talking about is quite deep, it's quite touching. I'm sorry of the past, of the things that we're trying to hide and run away from, but however, don't run away from them. The main thing is face them, fix it, and realize which are a gift. That's how you're gonna fix it. Putting it under the carpet and putting it on your bag, on your laptop bag, it's not gonna work, because when Abu Kabavo and other people talking about these things, you need to heal. But if you do want to talk privately, I am available. As I always say, that I do have your back, and we can talk this through and help each other in whatever way that we can help each other. Son, have a great week. Tomorrow is the 7th of Feb. Go out there, be great, unwrapping yourself and understanding that you are a great, independent, fulfilling treasure. You are a gift. Son, salute, cheers, I'm out.